Hey everybody, welcome back to the newly launched Intensity podcast. We're on the gaming side here. This is Falken, I'm known as Rusty, and we've also got with us Clubby W. Say hello, sir.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
So, QuikGunz and Siggy and Accord, they're going to be doing the sports side of things. Clubby W and I were on the gaming side of things. More than likely, we'll have Dansby in with us on a weekly basis. This week, he couldn't make it for the launch, unfortunately. You know, all that snow in New York and everything like that. I think he's holed up and, like, shivering in a corner somewhere. I think that's what's going on. Or he's trying to get out of his apartment building to get to Whole Foods where they're fighting over cheese and milk right now. So, I think that's what's going on. That's why we don't have Dansby. But, we're going to just rock right into it. We've got a list of stuff we want to talk about today, and we're going to kind of go over a couple things. We were talking before we came on here, and we're looking at, like, some of the top games and stuff like that were out on PC, and we started talking about, like, Rocket League.
Yeah, it's actually number 9? It's number 9 on PC right now.
Yeah, and that's
most played on Steam.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I mean, it's an indie game. We know it won a bunch of awards. And my question is who's still playing it on PS4? You know, it came out for free on PS Plus. Everybody got it for free for that month. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I didn't have my PlayStation at the time, so I still had to pay for it. But I played
only $20. It's well worth the $20.
By far. And I played the heck out of that game. I played it for quite a long time. I played with QuikGunz a lot. He was the one that showed me a lot of the different things. We went in there playing a bunch of threes and stuff like that. But I've kind of like gone down as far as like the amount of time that I've spent playing it. I think I go in there every once in a while when I'm like maybe rendering a video or something like that, and I don't want to play Call of Duty. Yeah, you know, when I can't do that kind of stuff. That's usually what like my PS Plus games are for. Like, and I won't even go into the multiplayer side of things. I just go into the whole like the championship thing where you can go through and play like a season or whatever, and play a couple games out of there because I can roll through it really quick.
Oh, the ranked, yeah.
Yeah, not the ranked. There's the whole like a season thing where you can play against the AI. Something like that. Yeah. And I just do that because, because if your internet connection is crap, you know, you're lagging around the screen and people are typing across there. Because I still think it's awesome that PS4 players and PC players get to play together.
Yeah, they play each other, yeah.
That's too cool. There need to be more games like that. You know, I don't think we'll ever see an FPS pull it off, really.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, I don't see that happening with a first-person shooter.
The mouse and keyboard kids, man. Especially with their wall hacks and all that kind of fun stuff that they end up putting on their systems. I don't ever see that happening, but you know, I kind of want to bring up Rocket League. It's a game that pretty much everybody in Intensity likes to play, and I know we've been talking about
that again, man.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing a bunch of games where it's just like, you know, a bunch of us hosting lobbies and trying to, you know, play against subscribers and stuff like that and get that rolling. So I know we want to get that rolling again, get some Rocket League running.
For sure. Do like mixed teams too.
Exactly. You know, get subscribers and Intensity guys on one side and same on the other. Just have fun, because what you can do, is it 4-on-4 is the max?
Yeah, that's the chaos mode.
That's the chaos mode, and I think that'd be hilariously fun. You know, why not? Just
it's a blast,
do it.
Man.
You know,
but I mean, it's just like this happens every year. We all, you know, a lot of us that are really into Call of Duty, we go get into other games, you know, until like, because when we, you know, by like August, Call of Duty's kind of getting a little stale.
Yep. Even if the last DLC is coming out, it's always like the last DLC too is like the best one that comes out, and it's like no one ever plays it. You know, Ghost was like that. The best DLC Ghost had was the last one. Nobody played it.
Was tired of playing slow games. I mean, it was unfortunate because the netcode on Ghost was awesome.
Yeah.
But everybody, I don't know why, they just played extremely slow. And well, I know the time to kill was pretty high, but still, man. Like,
time to kill was high. The maps for the original was big too. Yeah. So you'd get in those lobbies with all the you get in the lobby. You'd get in the lobbies where the kids weren't moving around at all on these giant maps that were like, you know, the size of a small city. And you know, you'd be lucky if you saw half of the enemy team throughout that map. So, you know, and a lot of times people were buying it because it was the cheaper title as well, you know. So as time goes on, you know, Advanced Warfare comes out. Well, now all the kids are just buying Ghosts for like $15. And that's how much I picked it up for when I got my PS4, because I needed to get my needed to learn how to use one of these because wasn't a PlayStation guy up until this one, and I had to start learning how to do that. So I picked up Ghost because it was $15. I wasn't gonna go spend another 40 to 60.
You get you a scrub controller.
I've got a scrub controller for my 360, but I'm not about to put out that much money again for a controller.
I should have probably not done that, but
I do all right.
You can do there's a Cap00 put out a video. There's an actual adapter that you can plug into your PS4 and you can play with pretty much any Xbox 360 controller.
That's the Cronus Max.
The Cronus, yeah.
Yeah, that thing's pretty awesome. I think, shameless plug, you can get that off the Avenger.com website and probably get a good discount using my code too. So I'm pretty sure that they're selling that. But
as far as Rocket League, I mean, I think it's being still played on PC because honestly, Call of Duty is it's not that popular. It's just not a super popular title. I mean, people play it. I mean, there's 23,000 still, which is actually pretty damn good, honestly.
Yeah.
Because every Call of Duty I've played on PC before, the first month is solid. It's probably around 20 grand, and then by now, honestly, it's probably it was at like 5-7 max. So it's just obviously this title's doing pretty good. But
it's doing better than the last few, and I mean it's still sold more last year than any other game. So it's still the number one selling game of last year. It's just doesn't have the staying power like it used to. I mean, like you look at Modern Warfare 3 was the peak as far as sales goes, and as far as people playing goes. That was the peak. That's where everybody was there. It's topped out at MW3, and it slowly went down. After MW3 had Black Ops 2, and a lot of people got really mad because of the target finder. Target finder and snipers
and the camera angles.
Yeah, and the camera angles is target finder, camera angles, snipers, and shotguns. Those were the 4 things that really pissed people off. And I think wasn't that that was the one where you had just shit tons of tack insertions too. That was a huge thing.
Inserted for feeds.
That was all over the place. So you'd see the tack inserts everywhere, and it's just started slowly going down. And I think they didn't expect and this has turned into a COD conversation now. We should probably just kind of move over that. I don't think they expected the numbers to drop as big as they did from Black Ops 2 into Ghosts. I don't think that was expected, and I think a lot of it had to do with, Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 came out, and there wasn't a lot of adoption on those at the time, and people were kind of well, do I get the latest Call of Duty? Is it better on the next gen? Should I wait? Should I not get it? And then they come to find out that, while Ghost was a decent game, and we talked about this a few minutes ago, how the maps were big and the time to kill was huge, and there were some issues at launch with Ghosts, and there's issues at launch with every game.
Ran like shit on PC.
Yeah, and there's issues at launch at every game. So we know that there's going to be small patches that come out, but I think that the last two, they really didn't. They didn't let people know what was going on as fast as they do. Now, Treyarch's oh shit, we got to fix something, and we're working on this, and there's a tweet out immediately. We know about this. We're working on it. Here's a patch, and I think we've had more patches in this game now in the first 2 months. A DLC hasn't even dropped yet. We're still a week out from the first DLC.
They're dropping patches and hot fixes, and
they're dropping stuff like crazy. We've had
game modes and
so many more than even Advanced Warfare had during its entire run. I don't ever remember hearing Sledgehammer saying, hey, this is all the stuff we're doing. These are all the patches. I'm constantly downloading patches for this game, and I think
every time I turn it on, it's your game settings have changed.
And it's is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Is it good that they're patching all this stuff, or is it bad that there's so many things that they have to patch? I think it's one of those where we go, okay, there's more people playing it, so we're going to find more stuff.
Well, to be honestly, a good friend of mine, her husband actually works in the game industry. He's basically, a concept artist. He's right now he works at Zynga.
Nice.
And he's a director, and he's basically games are launched they have a they have a launch date, and they basically, they have to get the game as playable as possible. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
And then just patch it after that. Just because, they have the publishers set, a timeline, and they obviously nobody wants to. These publishers don't want to push back games.
Yeah, and it's
I think that they should.
I think they should too. And there's been a few times where publishers push back a game, and it's because of it people start going, well, what the hell's wrong with it then?
Right.
And then it doesn't sell. I think, was it Watch Dogs or Sleeping Dogs? Which was the newest one?
Well, Watch Dogs, yeah, that one got pushed back, and that was like unplayable on PC.
Yeah, it got pushed back, and people were like, well, what's wrong with it? And I remember I was actually at PAX the year that one was slated to come out, and they'd pushed it back, and then they had a big showing at PAX, and then the game came out, and it was crap. People were like, well, why did they push it back if it's not the same game now?
It seemed kind of cool, I want to backtrack about the whole Rocket League.
All right.
Because we just got off topic with
we did.
Basically is I think it's always being played, but it's just like we have our set games. I think people have like their set games they're waiting for, and then in the meantime, I got into Destiny, which, like, honestly, when that game came out, I despise that game. When I got my Xbox One initially, it came with Destiny, and I think I put it in, I played an hour, and I was like, this is garbage. I uninstalled, I took it out, and then when I got the previous PS4, the Destiny version, when I got the PS4, I took the game out of the box in the store and traded it in. But then when The Taken King came out, and everybody's like, it's way better, and I was like, okay, well, COD's kind of boring right now. Advanced Warfare just initially was awesome, but then it's like, okay, this is just stupid.
Yeah, it's too much jumping, and the maps are crazy.
Yeah, the jumping was just a little bit obnoxious. And people just bide their time with other games till like a game that they play the most comes out. And I just think just me every year. I get games, and then Call of Duty comes out, and I just get stuck in playing Call of Duty, because then the thing is if you get on and you look on and all your friends are playing, and then they send you invites, and you're like,
you hop in. It's an easily accessible game. I've always said, and I think Rocket League is like that too. Like, if you get into it, Rocket League is like that, where you can get
right on and play.
You can get your fix super fast. You can get your fix and play that game and be like in for a couple matches and leave. And that's the great part about that game. And Call of Duty is the same way. That's the reason I've always said, people are like, why don't you play Destiny? I was like, because I don't have like 2 hours to spend on a raid and prepare for it and things like that. I used to play World of Warcraft.
So that's the thing, is Destiny was cool. Like, when I got it, I just played through like just the basic missions, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, just, it's chill, just in here shooting people. This is not like annoying. But then I got on one night to raid with somebody, and at that time I was still in CrossFit, so my workouts were 5:30 in the morning, 4 out of the 5 weekdays, and it was like 7. I was like, oh, I'll play, and then we were playing for like an hour, and I was like, are we done? And like, no, we still got like a lot to do, and I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, this is pointless.
Yeah, I used to play World of Warcraft on a very regular basis. Like we're talking daily. The first 4 years of launch, I was in there every day doing stuff, doing raids, all sorts of things. Spending entire days playing this game. And when Destiny came out, I was like, this sounds like a cool idea. It sounds like they took, the FPS stylings of how Borderlands plays, which is another one of my favorite FPS games ever. They took that and finally made an MMO for it, and I was like, this should be pretty neat. And then I played the beta on Destiny, and I was like, this sucks. I don't like this at all.
Story about World of Warcraft. I got out of the Navy. I was in the Navy, for 8 years, and then I was in a whole stunning motorcycles and stuff. And I was currently stationed in Hawaii, and I get out, and I was like, okay, where do I want to live, right? And I was like, okay, I want to live where somewhere I could ride year round. I was like, it was either Vegas, Arizona, or California.
Wait, real quick. So you left Hawaii,
Yeah.
You
I was
are a
stationed there.
sucker. You are a sucker. You should have stayed there. We
Yeah,
were. I
go
was
live
in
there.
Maui. I was in Maui back in November, and I didn't want to leave.
Go live there. There's a difference between visiting and living there for 3 years, dude. It's expensive.
Oh, I know it's expensive.
Overpopulated. It's pretty kind of hella racist, basically. But basically, I moved to Arizona. I moved in with this guy, and had a roommate that apparently he was like some sort of trust fund kid or something, because he didn't have a job. He would just basically wake up and he would play World of Warcraft literally from like probably 9 or 10 in the morning to like 12 at night. And I went into his like little office where he played, and dude had like stacks of bowls, and like he had he had brushed his teeth like in one of the bowls. And there was a bathroom like not 10 feet away. Like if you look at my webcam, that door, there was a bathroom not even that far away, maybe that far away, and he could not. That's just crazy how that game
It'll suck you in
people's lives.
It'll suck you in. It's bad. But like with Destiny, I was like, hey, I thought I could do it, and then when I found out that there was like a raiding aspect to it, I was like, nope, see ya. I've done the raid thing back in the past, and it's like the only way you can progress in this game is by raiding, because that's the only way you're going to get the better gear, until they put out an expansion, and then you start getting stuff, But even now with Destiny, they've decided that, well, Destiny 2 is coming out in September.
Oh, really?
That's
I have not seen that.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's what they said. I'm going to pull it up right now because I need to make sure that I'm saying the right thing here. Because I saw a thing that says Destiny 2 is coming out, and for the longest time, a lot of people said, it says Destiny 2 is reportedly delayed. Now they're saying it will not be released. The original was supposed to be September of 2016, but now they're saying it's going to be released later than that. Whether that means 2017 or not, who knows? But it's like, I thought Destiny was supposed to be a game like World of Warcraft, where they just kept making expansions for it. That's the way it was supposed to be. Like, this game was supposed to stick around for 10 years. That's what I originally had read, that Bungie was going to do that. They were going to pick up the Blizzard model of doing an MMO and making multiple expansions and make it accessible to anybody. So if you wanted to start out from the beginning, you could, or if you wanted to pick up and, make the character that starts with like the Taken King or the next one out after that, you could do that. But it seems like they've stalled. Like, the Taken King came out and like everybody's beaten it already. And people don't want to go back and do all the extra crazy hard challenges. They just want new stuff. They don't want to go, okay, we just did easy mode. Now we got to do medium hard mode. Now we got super hard challenge mode. And we don't want to do all that stuff now because it's just the same shit over and over, really, really hard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And I don't know if that's
cool because you actually, there was a puzzle aspect to it, so you had to figure out like certain order of things.
Yeah.
So in a way, that was cool how they did that. But as far as, you couldn't play solo. You had to
play with a group.
You were forced to play with a group, pretty much.
Now this isn't on our thing.
It's cool because it kind of
we've gone way
social aspect to the game.
We've gone way off topic off of all the stuff we wanted to talk about, which is fine because we're first podcast. Who cares? We're trying to get the flow. But the whole puzzle aspect of Destiny, it brings me to the point of games like this. And when I first started playing World of Warcraft, we didn't have YouTube and the internet and all that kind of stuff to go through and figure out how to do all these raids and things like that. Like, no one was recording anything and putting it on YouTube for people to find. But now, like, the first group that goes through and finds out how to go through a raid boss and, blast through a raid boss, it gets recorded, it gets put on YouTube, other people look at it, and that's what they study to go through and beat the boss. And no one's... It's like the whole... back in the early 90s, late 80s with like game guides and cheat guides and stuff like that. Like, people are like, why don't you just play the game and figure it out? Now it's like people are sitting here and watching how to beat stuff on YouTube and then going through and clearing through all this stuff so quick.
Yeah, but a lot of channels made some pretty good growth.
I don't doubt that. Like, they're still doing good on that, but it's like, is it killing the timeline of content for creators that are making these games? Because they're like, I'm sure Bungie wasn't like, well, man, they should still be playing through a lot of Taken King, but because groups are out there and they're beating the bosses and they're beating all these dungeons and they're recording it and they're putting it out on the internet for everybody else. Now everybody has access on how to beat this thing. So then that timeline shrinks. Now, what was supposed to be a 4-month timeline is now 2 months because now everybody knows how to do it.
Right.
I'm wondering if that is starting to...
Everybody's putting out, like, basically walkthroughs on
exactly
how to complete things. And
and I don't know if that's killing games like Destiny, the MMO style things or not, because it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of people that are willing to stick around on that anymore.
I mean, I still see, like, Thunder, he's still playing Destiny here and there.
Yeah. But I don't think he's doing raids. I think he's just doing... I think there's, like, a bunch of solo stuff that you can do now. Like,
I think the only way to get, like, this crazy gear is to do raids.
Yeah.
That's when I got, like, some of, like, the weapons and stuff.
That's the way those games work, too. So,
like, since we're kind of talking about, like, the whole puzzle aspect of games right now, have you seen anything about Unravel? Like, if you have, like, what do you think?
I haven't. I'm actually going to pull it up here real quick.
Yeah, pull up a trailer. It's funny, like, when I saw wherever they announced it, initially I was seeing it, like, if you look at, like, just the picture, you're like, this is stupid, like, so lame. And then I watched, like, the trailer, and it's basically like a really pretty cool, like, puzzle platformer type of game, and it's got, like, a ton of physics in it. And I was actually looking, this is, like, on my list of games that I'm getting this year.
I'm watching it right now. This, like, you're the guy, but you're trying to make it all the way to the end, and you're slowly, like, leaving yourself behind.
Yeah, it's like your a little yarn thing, and you create a...
It's like somebody took Sackboy from Little Big Planet and just went plick and pulled a piece of string out of him. Although he kind of looks... This thing looks like a weird devil cat.
Yeah, he kind of has, like, these horns type of deal, yeah.
That's cool as hell. Like, this looks like an amazing game.
It's $20.
This is it out yet?
No, it comes out on February 9th.
This looks like a game that, like, this would be a game I would sit and play all the time.
It's all puzzles, like, environment, and there apparently is, like, a story to it.
Like, this reminds me of a little bit of, like, did you play Braid at all?
Yes.
So, like, it's like a color version of Braid, almost. But, like, with, like, some, like, Little Big Planet element to it. But, like, I just watched this whole, like, this gameplay trailer. He's out in the water, or, like, he's on the shore.
Yeah, and the water.
And the water's coming in. It's like the wave comes in and lifts him up, and then it goes back down again. That's some neat shit. Like, the fact that these guys think of games in more than one dimension. Like, it's a 2-dimensional game, but they're thinking of it in a 3D world. It's pretty sweet like that. I think that's kind of cool.
It's 2-dimensional with, like, a lot of 3D aspects. And
yeah.
Apparently, like, the physics is really good, and it's just like a puzzle game. So I'm definitely picking that up.
Did you just send me a link?
Yeah.
I can't pop it open or it's going to show your name. Yeah. So, if you send it into DM
I just watched the Unravel unofficial story trailer.
I'm watching the Gamescom trailer, so that's probably the same thing. This is really slick looking. I might actually, like, grab this trailer.
It's coming out on PS4, Xbox One, PC.
For $20, this looks like definitely a $20 game. Like, I'm watching this thing where it's, like, fitting all this, like, shit, making a little bobber thing and everything like that.
Yeah, you're making, like, a bobber and use, like, the bobber, like, when it catches the waves, like,
yeah,
pull you up and,
like, what the fuck is this? This is so weird.
Surprised you haven't seen that.
No, and I love games like this too. You know, I've played Braid and stuff like that, and platformers like this I love. There was one that the Xbox One had about, like, a kid and he had like a magic marker thing and stuff like that. I played that, like, I think it was called Max or something like that. And I played the heck out of that too. I love games like that. You know, big Sonic the Hedgehog fan. You know, anything that goes left to right, I'll play it. Mm-hmm. That's the way I am. So this is cool. This is definitely a recommend and go check out kind of game. I'm inside of the podcast itself. I'll have a link down in the description of this so you guys can check out this trailer. I'm also gonna put, because it's a it's a decent sized trailer. It's only like 3 minutes. I might have a little bit of a video clip going on in the background as well, so you guys can see what's going on there. But it looks like a really slick game. Like there's a lot of thought put into it on what's going on. You know, this might be one of those games that, you know, if you wait a little bit, it might end up being a PS Plus game. This looks like it could be one of those kind of games.
It could be, yeah, for sure.
You know, but
it's possible.
I might just pick this one up right away because it looks that good.
Yeah, it's $20, man.
That's not bad at all. You know, when we're used to paying $60 for a game, you know, that we bleed our eyes out on, $20 isn't bad. You know, a lot of these indie developers really, you know, they're putting out good stuff at cheap prices. So, I love it. That's cool as hell. I'm going to pick up that one. We should talk about another indie game here because you put it on the list, and it's the one right under Unravel on our list.
I don't know if it's not necessarily. I wouldn't say it's indie because it's.
I would call it a semi. They're right in between. It's not like total mainstream AAA title. I would call it maybe like a AA title.
But it's made by like PopCap, but I think
the
publisher is EA.
Yeah, but
and
Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is coming out. Now, I've never played any of the Garden Warfare games. I played Plants vs. Zombies. I've played that. I've played, you know, that game. So
which that's like the little tower defense type of thing.
Exactly. So I've played that. You know, I'm familiar with the, you know, the style of game it is, and I've seen, you know, Garden Warfare stuff. Yeah, you're familiar with Pico, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Pico would always play Garden Warfare, and he'd posted a bunch of stuff on there. So I'm familiar with that, too. I just never picked it up because I was always stuck in the Call of Duty cycle, and it always seemed to come out in the middle of the Call of Duty cycle, so I never picked it up. It's like it was always between, like, you know, they do stuff, like, somewhere around DLC 1 or 2, you know, that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, they're not going to launch with...
Yeah,
launch a game with Call of Duty.
You know, and it's like, man, I'm in the middle of this whole cycle. I'm making content. I don't have time for another game. I'm an idiot, and I do a video every fucking day for a year. You know, that kind of stuff. So it's like I didn't have the time for it, and I never picked it up. But it looks like it's hilariously fun. And one of those games.
The beta was last weekend, dude.
I know, and I missed it. Last weekend was it's been nutty. Like last weekend, I actually slept. For once, it's something I usually don't do on the weekends, but like,
some sleep.
Yeah, I did, and I caught up on sleep for once. But this looks like it's one of those games that I might want to pick up. And you know, we've talked about doing like a Rocket League night. This might be like doing a Garden Warfare night.
So I'm just looking at like, so there's six 24-player game modes. There's 24-player online multiplayer, up to 4-player online co-op, 14 playable classes with over 100 playable characters. And the way they do that is when you play the game, you earn coins, and then you buy like basically card packs with the coins.
Okay.
And the card packs are based on value. So I think one of them was like, I'm just gonna guess, like 40,000 coins, right? And that was an actual like character card pack, and you unlock that card pack, and it would unlock basically a character, and there's like different variants of, you know, each character. So like the pea shooter is one of the plants, and you get like a, you know, toxic pea shooter, and he has different, you know, he shoots like a toxic thing, and it has different effects, you know, different things like that. And looks like there's gonna be like 12 maps, and they've actually added like 6 new characters on this version, 3 on plants and 3 on the zombie side.
Yeah, I'm seeing that right now.
When I was playing the beta, they basically called TDM like Team Vanquish, and then they had Vanquish confirmed. You would kill somebody and it would drop like a little orb, and you had to pick it up. I don't know if that necessarily, I think that's how the game was won, just like Call of Duty. You had to pick up the tags.
Nice.
They did have a domination style game. They do have like a single bomb where you like try to like move the bomb back and forth and plant it at like different locations.
Okay. So sounds like a little bit like Demolition almost. More like a demo
so
style.
actually pick up the bomb. is more similar to Obliteration on Battlefield 4.
Okay. Yeah.
There was like a basically neutral bomb, and you had to pick it up and take it to locations on the planet, and then defend that site and stuff.
And we're a month away from launch on this one. This one comes out on the 23rd of February. So
yeah,
you can get 3 weeks of DLC play in on Call of Duty, and then when you get sick of the new maps from everybody.
I have it on PC. I need to get in there because they're offering loyalty rewards.
That's what you said
on Garden Warfare, and I have to double check it.
I'm surprised they haven't
based on your rank. They basically the highest. If you hit like max rank, they give you like this unicorn chomper character, and that's the only way you can get it apparently.
That's awesome. That's
and then
awesome.
Other loyalty rewards are like some card packs.
I wonder if
I had it saved.
If they're gonna do that for the PlayStation as well.
Yeah, it's everything. It's okay. So rank 10, you get like a fun pack, or rank 10 plus, you get some fun pack, which is like a mix of custom and consumable items. This is basically a basic card pack. Really, all it is a bunch of card packs. Like if you hit rank 100, it's a Sentry pack, includes 5 super rare customization items, and then rank 313 is like the legendary unicorn chomper. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but
so I'm reading here on the PS4 side. So if you pre-order this game, you will get Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I'm looking at the deluxe edition, by the way, which is like $70. I didn't realize that they jumped the price on this thing, because I think the original was only like $40, right? Like it wasn't a full $60 game, if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't remember. I thought it was.
This one, I know this one is. I'm looking at it, and it's like, it says that, so you get the game itself, you get an emoji pack, so you get that, you get Peggle 2 for a full thing, and then it says you also get the Grass Effect pack, which gets you a variant for the Z7 Imp and Mech, and also...
Imp's going to be probably...
That's the one people are going to play.
I think that he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because so each character you have like different. So you have your main attack, and then you have like whatever your triangle, then you have 3 different abilities, and then his triangle, he calls in like this little mech, and depending on the variant, I've actually seen another one where he's got like this. He's got like chrome armor on.
Yeah.
It's red, and he calls in this like shrimp, this chrome metal shrimp, and it shoots like a beam. And then even that mech has like different things it does. So a lot of people were using him.
Sounds fun as hell to me. I don't know.
Yeah, he's fun. I mean, it just have the thing with the original game is the plants seem to always be kind of underpowered. It's not as bad now. Or maybe I don't know, it's either plants or the zombies were underpowered in the initial one. I think it's the plants, but even this one, the plants still seem to be a little underpowered. But the imp I'm just worried he's going to be overused.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
So the rest of the stuff that they give you in the deluxe edition, they're giving you a full customization set for the plant class.
The Grassy 71.
Yes. And they're giving you a full customization set for a zombie character, so you get to choose that. And also a mystery character variant pack, so it gives you a guaranteed planter zombie character variant unlock.
And extra coins.
So that's what they're giving you on that for the deluxe edition on that. So basically another $10 gets you a fully unlocked plant, a fully unlocked zombie, a possibility of either a really awesome planter zombie, and then a bunch of coins to do stuff with. So I'm not sure if that's worth the $10, considering you can, rank everything up through the game, it seems. But for some people, they want to have that really cool looking stuff right off the bat.
Get a lot of that stuff. I think the only thing that they're not going to get in game is that legendary chomper, which is whatever,
People buy COD points, so hey, they're gonna chomp at the bit and get a deluxe edition of this so they can have extra shit. Right. That's the way it goes. So, and real quick, we can bring this up real quick because I just said about the COD points. I saw a tweet about it earlier, like now the rare supply drops that you get, it's like you either spend 10 keys or 30 keys or 300 COD points, right?
That's CP points, right?
Okay, so that's what it was, and then they had the half off sale this past weekend saying, okay, it's half off, so it's only 150, and now when I go into my game, it's 400 COD points for the rare drop, which brings it down to 200, so it's not even a full half off of what it normally is anymore. That's something that's been rolling around. I don't know if that's wrong or not. I heard people saying that for a while the COD points were actually down to 200 for the rares, and you were only paying 100 off of it. So I don't know if they're doing some kind of weird balancing to fix up a fuck up that they did or not.
I think they might have been 200.
And that might be. So they might have screwed something up.
I'm trying to remember because I was an idiot. Like, you know, QuikGunz was like, oh, I'm just gonna buy like because they get you with like the off. They set things where you have to buy more than you need. Like they do it purposely. Like the unlock all the class sets was like 300, and then the cheapest one was like 200. So that's how they get you.
That might be
you
it.
bought like the $10 one, and then I did that too, and I was just like, whatever, I'll just pay the $40. And I think I got like 25 openings with the rest of my coins, and I got like nothing. So.
Yeah, I got nothing out of mine. So every time I've done it, I've gotten like absolute bullshit out of all of them. So that's big deal. Who cares about that? We've got on our list of things to talk about. So I don't know, when I'm on Facebook, because of all the gaming stuff that I post on mine, I get a bunch of gaming stuff in my trending feed. And back on Thursday...
On Facebook or Twitter?
On Facebook. On Facebook,
okay.
I get it. So there was a whole big teaser from Sega saying that they've got a new game coming out. We got this new game coming out. Oh, great, you guys aren't going to be able to handle this. It's a new game coming out. And then they went through and they released on Friday what it was that their new game was. They're releasing a whole bunch of classics on the 3DS. So instead of actually doing a new game, a new IP, or something, you know, even if it's a brand new Sonic game, they decided to give us a whole bunch of old games redone for the 3DS.
Yes, that nobody plays.
You know, exactly. So like the ones that they're giving us Altered Beast, Fantasy Zone 2, Maze Walker, Power Drift, Puyo Puyo 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, Galaxy Force 2, and Thunderblade. Most people have only heard of 3 of those. Altered Beast, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Thunderblade. Like, those are the 3 that people know of, because Thunderblade was a Sega Master System game, and Altered Beast was out there too. But like the rest of them, it's like people mostly have not heard of these games because there are a lot of Japanese titles, is what they are. That a lot of the ones that are out there, like Maze Walker and Puyo Puyo, those were pretty much Japanese titles, and that's it. And it makes me wonder, are these companies like seriously cashing in hard with all of every 4 years?
Is what they're doing.
Yeah, every 4 or 5 years there's a new system coming out, and next thing you know, you've got Sega and Nintendo and all of these other companies like Midway and Bally. They're putting out like, here's our arcade classics collection for the 5th time, you know. And it's like, would you just please make these systems backwards compatible so we can play our old games that we've already bought like once? Because now like the PS4's got semi-backwards compatibility where you can buy old PS2 games to play on your PS4, but you're gonna have to pay $20 for all of them. You know, if you want to go and buy it again, you can play it, but you can't just pop in your PS2 disc that you still got sitting on the shelf, even though the game is here. And I think it's just an easy way for them to kind of cash in and make some quick bank, especially now that there's a lot of digital download now, you know.
Yeah.
It seems that digital download, as much as people balked at it 2 years ago when these two systems came out, it seems to be that there's a lot of digital download going on now.
Yeah, it's convenient.
Yeah, you know, Steam, people are used to Steam.
They now allow preloading, like.
Yeah.
Because people go stand in line for a game and then come home, you gotta wait like an hour to play it because it's got to install at least
Yeah, on the Xbox at least.
Xbox.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought that was great when I bought Black Ops 2, and I just came home and it worked. You know, it was ready to go at midnight, just like they said it was going to, and I didn't have to wait, and I didn't have to install anything.
It was actually available at 11 p.m.
Yeah, and it was
Central. Yeah,
it was frustrating because we couldn't get on it first with the servers and all, but you know, it was like it was there, it was ready. We didn't have to wait for anything. I could play the campaign if I wanted to. No one wants to play campaign right away. So there's that. But I think that you know, a lot of these remakes that you've got coming out, it seems like instead of pushing forward and making a new game, like they're wasting time with these old ports. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks that. You have the Nintendo NX written down on our list, and I haven't.
I don't know much about it. I just remember a bunch of people mentioning it. So.
I mean, is this their new system, or is this like a whole new platform? I mean, because it seems like the Wii U hasn't been out that long. Like, it doesn't feel like it. I know that it is in its third year. You know, the Wii U is actually like older than the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 by about a year. They launched before those two. But
all of this, everything is just rumors, but they're saying that they're going to release it in the next 12 months.
And no one knows. Like,
yeah,
what is it? But, like, the big thing that everyone was freaking out about is that they're saying it's not going to have full 1080p resolution. Like, that was the thing that I picked.
I see something right here saying Nintendo NX console leak points to high frame rates, 900p resolution.
Yeah, so like it'll probably do 60 frames a second, but they're going to go 900p to make sure that it can do it.
It sounds like the Xbox One.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like what are they using for a chipset on there, you know?
Yeah, and there's like they're like releasing in a year, but there's like no information on it. So.
You know, and they're saying that it's going to have 4K, 60 frame a second streaming, but the graphics on gameplay is only going to be 900p? You got a 4K capable system that can only put out 900p for the game? Like, what are they doing? Are they putting like a giant border all the way around the game, making it look like an old arcade system or something like that with this little tiny
4K,
screen?
60 FPS video streaming.
So that makes me wonder.
Play graphics at 900p, 60 FPS.
I don't have a Wii U. Do you have one?
No.
Have you used one before?
Yeah.
Does it have Blu-ray capability?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. With the fact that they're saying that it supports 4K, it makes me wonder if they're going to finally pop a Blu-ray player in this thing and make it more than just a gaming machine, because now they're actually saying that, you know, that you might be able to surf the web and make video calls.
Surf the web. It says surf the web or make video calls on your TV.
Yeah, so it makes me think that they're going more towards like what Microsoft did with the Xbox One. And they're trying to make it
one solution.
Yeah, make it the big thing. Like, here's your entertainment center. You know, start having things like, you know, the Amazon app on there for Prime and Netflix and Hulu and Vudu and all that kind of stuff, and have all the different things built in along with whatever Nintendo wants to give. But I know I saw hanging around somewhere that there was something about possibly having something with the PS4 working with the Nintendo NX, and I can never remember where I saw that. I saw it over the last week. They were saying something about certain games between the NX and the PS4 would actually be able to be played together or be compatible with each other, something like that. So I don't know if there's just certain games that they're looking at doing that with, where Nintendo's being like, you know, we're going to publish them on both platforms to try to get a wider base, or if they're going to make them cross-compatible.
Yeah, I doubt that.
I doubt it as well.
With all this stuff.
I doubt it as well. You know, two Japanese companies going at it, that's usually never going to happen. So, but I'm still surprised that Nintendo hasn't gone the way of Sega and gone to just a software publisher at this point. You know, it seems to have been slowly moving its way down, that they're not selling as many consoles and they're not moving through. I mean, it's not like, you know, they can't say that they've done like Sony did. Sony sold over 35 million PlayStation 4s in the first 2 years of launch, and I think the Xbox One was half of that. which means the Wii U is probably even less than that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and it makes me wonder, you know, it's definitely a niche market. It's for people who really love Nintendo, you know, and I used to be one of those guys. I went from the N64 to the GameCube to a Wii until I finally decided, screw this, I'm buying an Xbox 360. I need to play games that actually have blood and gore in them. Yeah. And, you know, and I moved up from that.
You want to, like, shoot ink at people?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it seems like it's slowly moving back. In like the 3DS is where they're at. Like it's the mobile gaming and being able to be portable with it. That's the stuff that people really seem to attach onto when it comes to Nintendo. Not the Wii U, not the Wii. You know, yeah, the screen in the controller is pretty damn cool from what I'm told.
Sold at least 10 million units so far.
That's not bad at all. I mean, it's crazy to see that. Of what they're on there, you know.
That was in like August, so.
And they're, from what I'm seeing here, like I'm reading this whole 35.9 million PS4 consoles globally since launch. They're hoping that that's actually going to challenge the PS2 sales, which they did 155 million lifetime on the PS2, which floors me right now that there's that many PlayStation 2s hanging around. Yeah, so that's the NX right now. You know, we don't know much about it. It's rumor. You know, take it for what it is, guys. We're not bringing you anything late breaking or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just all speculation right now.
Yeah. So we're about 45 minutes in. I want to bring up something here that we've got on our list because it's kind of been going through here since the last since the Call of Duty itself ended up doing their thing with Black Ops 2, and they announced COD World League. And then after COD World League was announced, Activision bought Major League Gaming.
Right.
Okay. So now they own COD World League and they own Major League Gaming. So they own both, and it's kind of a big thing. Now, I used to watch Major League Gaming. I used to watch the COD tournaments on MLG until recently with Advanced Warfare, and I wouldn't watch anything else. Now, I know things, there's other games that Major League Gaming does as well. But did the COD community kind of fuck up Major League Gaming and make it to the point where like Activision was like, we need to rein this in and we need to grab all of it, pull it back in for ourselves, and start having a standardized set of rules for these players? Because you've seen, I'm sure, there's videos out there of like dudes screaming at each other and yelling obscenities and stuff.
I went to UMG Dallas here, mainly just to meet Siggy and some other people, Chris Gutera and Big Snacks, and it was basically that. It was just a bunch of like shit talking constantly. Like they're playing games and they're like talking shit to each other. Yeah. And
I mean
honestly, for anybody to take this sport seriously, there has to be some sort of rule set, because this whole everybody like dudes leaving teams like.
Oh, it's like it's changing underwear. Yeah. You know, it's like there's a tournament, like COD World League is going to happen. Okay.
Like, I don't understand how there's not contracts. Like, it's theoretically a professional. I'm not going to say sport. It's not sport. Professional gaming, and you would think that
you would think
guys are making money, that you would think that these guys would have.
You would think that there'd be something like that.
You're recruiting like good players, like you don't want to allow them the ability to leave.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is, I think a lot of these team owners don't know what the legalities could be. You know, what they could put in place for these things. Like, okay, Snacks team owner. Okay, he's got justice. That's his thing, and he's been doing it for a long time. You know, and he knows his way around things. A lot of these other teams have guys that are not as old as him running them. You know, we got mid-20s and younger running these teams. Some of these teams that are trying to, you know, break it in the scene, they're still teenagers. You know, they're not even they're not even legal age to vote on some of these. Like, you see some of these teams trying to make it out there. No, they're not. They're still in high school trying to do stuff. And now you see like Riot Games with League of Legends and stuff like that. They're starting to put in rules. Like, they've got a code of conduct that you've got to follow now and stuff like that. Like, there's you're not supposed to be screaming at each other while you're playing the game, because they want it to be accessible to a wider audience. They don't want F-bombs being dropped in the middle of a broadcast that ESPN is going to be broadcasting now. They don't want that stuff.
Do you think Call of Duty is actually going to be on ESPN?
I think it has been. It has been. It's been part of the X Games.
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand that, but now they have like the ESPN esports. Like,
I think it'll end up on there. Like, the big ones. The big ones are going to be Dota, League of Legends, and CS:GO. Those are going to be the big three. There was a thing that came out a while ago that Call of Duty isn't even top tier gaming anymore, as far as competitive.
Not esports.
Yeah, not esports. It's not considered that. It used to be.
League of Legends and Dota has always been up there, and then in the last 3 years, like, CS:GO has blown up.
Yeah, and that blows my mind. That blows my mind that it's done stuff like that.
I mean, on Twitch alone, like, CS:GO is always in the top 3, 4.
Yeah.
But if you always go in there, it's always League of Legends, Dota, Hearthstone somehow.
Hearthstone is a huge thing, and that's starting to become competitive too. Like, they've got competitive gaming for Hearthstone now. The guys are coming in and doing it because it's all luck of the draw kind of stuff with that game. So I'm curious to see what is going to happen with Major League Gaming now that it's been absorbed by Activision. I haven't heard a whole lot. Like, there's a couple people I knew that were part of MLG stuff, more on the social media side of things, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen with events, because it just seems like everything died down after that. And the guy that started COD World League with Activision used to work for MLG. So it's like they were slowly pulling everybody over anyways. So I'm not sure what they're going to do over on that side, but COD World League started, and I haven't watched a drop of it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not really into...
I like watching it. I like watching it because some of the stuff that I see helps make me a better player. Like, how do these guys see a guy halfway across the map, the size of a speck, and they're picking him off? I'm like, well, that's a spot I got to watch from now on. Because not only have I seen it, so has everybody else that's seen it and watching the broadcast, and now they're going to try it too. So now I got to fire at this little spot on a rock that somebody's, hiding behind because somebody saw, like, Nadeshot do it last week. That's the kind of stuff that was the only reason I'd keep up on it in the past.
It's just like these random, like with Black Ops 3, these random wall run spots that people don't think about. Like, I know you guys did that around the map on
all the way around evac. Yeah.
So I actually picked off a guy that was on between was it C and A. There's a guy, he was wall running, and he, like, jumped up over, and I was like, oh crap, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's cool to see where you can go with that one. We're 52 minutes in. We can probably wrap this up on there. Because, hey, we're supposed to have a third guy in here. We have no idea. He's snowed in. We'd probably be able to pull this off pretty easy. But, we don't want to be talking about Call of Duty all day, even though we probably could. And I think we've covered a pretty wide range of stuff on the first go around.
Yeah, it's the first time, man.
Exactly. And I want to thank everybody that stuck around for this entire time, that came out to the Ntensity official YouTube channel and watched it. If you're listening to us on SoundCloud as well, don't forget to hit the follow button. That way, every time we throw a podcast up, you guys are going to get the new ones on your SoundCloud. If you're new on the channel here, don't forget to hit the subscribe. Hit the like button as well, because that's going to let everybody out there know you guys are digging the podcast. It's going to get other people interested in what's going on. And I'm just happy to be doing this again. I've been missing doing podcasts. Clubby, it's been awesome, man.
Yeah, man, it's been good. I haven't done that podcast since, with the Spawn Trap, and I actually kind of felt like I was kind of out of my league, because those guys know their shit, and hoping to actually contribute a lot more to this for this podcast.
Hey, it's nothing like being some scrubs playing video games, you know? Hey,
Yeah.
that's what we like going. So, thanks everybody for watching. We're signing out. It's Intensity Podcast. I'm Falken. We got Clubby W over there.
Very
We're
nice.
out. Later.